in my own case as a coach and a therapist, this is how I work, Anuradha. I first start with what's happening in your life currently. What are you dealing with currently? What's the story of your life? What is the challenge in the current scenario? Is it like you feel rejected by the world, you can't move ahead in career? What's really happening? Are you full of sadness? Are you anxious? Are you depressed? What's really happening in the current emotional body? From there we discover, from there the next step is actually trying to understand the childhood of that body, of that person, right? As to where these stories are coming from. Is it that the child decided, is this adult decided in childhood that i'm going to feel I'm going to continue to be hyper independent, not ask for help, because asking for help is dangerous, right? Or I will never be heard, I will never be seen. And if that decision was made at the tender age of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, the child will continue to live that story even in adulthood, right? And that will become the story or the current emotional threshold, current emotional thermostat point for that adult also, because he will go out into the world, will struggle with situation, but will never be able to ask for help, because they decided asking for help means I will be rejected, and that's so scary, right? So that's the second step. We go to the attachment trauma. Attachment trauma is childhood wound. In a basic layman language, it's called inner child work, but actually it's attachment trauma work, as to how you experienced your childhood with your parents and people you lived with. That designs and shapes your adult life, right? And then we go into the layer of systemic medicine or generational trauma, as to how your adult life could have an imprint of, could have a sprinkle of generational trauma also. Like when you're feeling too much, and when you feel, oh God, everything is good in my life, I still don't know why I feel I'll go mad. I don't know why I feel I'll be left all alone. I don't know why I feel I will die in a room on my own with no one to look after me. These 4 fears are an indication of someone else who died in your lineage all alone and was never spoken about, never included in the family. Never got a chance to process his or her own fear or grief, which you now feel on their behalf, because you're a part of that system. So that's the approach. So attachment trauma, inner child work revolves around your childhood story. Generational trauma goes a step beyond that. It looks into your entire family traumagram, like imagine people standing behind you, grandparents, parents, uncles, aunts, great grandfather, grandfather, coming from partition, war, abuse. We don't know, right?
Absolutely.
What a person,
Yes.
what people have gone through in the previous times, right? That's generational trauma.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for explaining it. So my next question to you is, can chronic physical pain be a manifestation of emotional or ancestral wounds? And how do you approach such cases?
Absolutely. I'm sure, Anuradha, as a podcaster and as someone who's aware of mind-body connection, you must have heard of the word psychosomatic, right?
Yes.
So psychosomatic, I have worked a lot with pain. That's how my career started, as a pain management holistic expert. So what I realized over the period of my work, decades, to 1 decade of my work, was that some pains do not resolve. They just don't go. Even if they go, they have a big tendency to come back. And I started questioning it. And I really every day would ask the universe, why do these people come back to me? Like, I had a great success rate, but some small percentage wanted to come back again and again, let's say 2 months later, 3 months later. So they were not totally healed. So I got a download one day, and the download and answer that universe gave me was that such chronic pain conditions that do not resolve are basically a protective mechanism. Our brain is protecting us from looking into a deep emotional wound, which is so scary to experience and see, that the brain says, hey, let's keep this person busy in physical pain. At least she or he will not die of pain. They will manage pain, they will live with pain, they will pop in pills, go to therapy. But if this person looks into that emotional experience, it's all unconscious, Anuradha. It's not suppressed, it's repressed emotion. And usually it's anger. Okay, because when we were going through that traumatic experience, we were little babies.
Yeah.
We really didn't know how to process it verbally. We
Yes.
didn't have words to process. We only had body who collected and gathered the experience and stored it. And
Hmm.
that's why some bodies create pain and do not go out of the pain, because it's safer to be in pain than to remember that experience and die of fear,
Hmm. Yeah.
of rage. That's the exact theory behind psychosomatic and emotional pain conditions. And there's a book written by Dr. John Sarno. People who are watching the podcast or listening to it can actually go and pick up that book and read about what mind body connection is. Dr. John Sarno has complete research on this.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Moving to the next question. You talk about transforming blocks into possibilities. Can you share a step by step method that you use to help someone in their journey?
Yeah, Anuradha. So I'm a little different as a coach here. I don't have a step by step method. I'm a very fluid coach. Having said that, like I mentioned earlier, I first look at the current story, current emotional stature, current structure of their life, current mental emotional makeup of their body and life. Then I go into listening to the stories and how their childhood was, what did they deal with, the relationship with parents and siblings, and if someone else lived in their family. And then next step, I go and create their entire family traumagram, like every little nitty gritty of their family lineage of the system. I draw that, and then I take them through processes. So I do have a step by step process, but I'm a very fluid coach because I don't practice anything which has uh, which has a fixed structure. So my work is very intuitive. I really have to be attentive to the client's story, listen to them, go beyond their story, listen from my own heart, my belly, my body, and then work on them, because my sessions are very customized. So step by step plan, no, but customized solutions with each session, I every single time I offer to my clients.
Hmm.